Welcome to the beginner to advanced class on wiring, auto smelting, and auto sorting. With power, we're going to cover the basics all the way up to relays, relay power extenders, which are going to be very important for auto sorting systems, and even a NOT gate. With smelting, we are going to automate everything from basic ore all the way up to advanced, and to the point where items are placed in a single chest. After that, we're going to cover auto sorting. We will discuss methods of being able to move items away from a chest without pulling any of the items from that chest. In the final part of the video, we're going to combine all of these systems together into a mega line and to simplify your everyday life and core keeper. And it will automatically smelt any ore and sort everything else. So please, if you find this video helpful, share it with your friends, post it in Discords, and let me know in the comments if there's something else that you'd like me to make a guide on. Okay, let's go over the core components of wiring and basically how they work. It's important to understand the fundamentals here. So electrical wire will allow you to transmit electricity in all four directions. A cross circuit will allow you to transmit electricity, but only in the direction that the electrical circuit is coming from. So if it's coming from here, it will allow you to continue on, and it will not allow you to cross in other directions. This is going to be very useful. We will be using these. A delay circuit that stores energy. Now, it's very to understand that this also acts as a capacitor, and it does have a reduced power outlet when power comes off of it. So when we will be creating these systems, it will be very important that you note placement of these. If you place these down wrong, they will cause issues, and they could possibly destroy your entire system. So just note that these also act as a capacitor, or a little battery, and they store some power. Then we have the logic circuit. The logic circuit is basically how we're going to make our gates, how we're going to be able to pulse the system, and how we're going to be able to also make a NOT gate later on. After that, we have a lever, which generates a low amount of electricity that can be used to turn things on and off. And then we have, and by a low amount of energy, it means it just does not travel very far. We have an electrical generator, which generates electricity and will also travel a lot further. We have an electric stick, which is used to activate and deactivate logic gates, and I haven't found it serve any other purposes from that. Then, last but not least, we have a pressure plate, which can be used to supply electricity when stepped on, that is able to power things. So an example of the pressure plate is if we step on it, you can see that it generates electrical signal, and it can power a drill and power arms. So how we would use the cross circuit is basically if we want electrical signal to go straight across and power a light, but now power anything else, then we would use this cross circuit. If we want to turn something on, like say open these doors with the lever, then the electricity is able to cross and open the doors and not affect the light. Simple setup with pressure plates is an automated door. So you step on the pressure plate, opens the door, closes it. Okay, so now that we have the basics of electricity, let's just talk about a simple smelting array, right? So we're just talking about this system right here. If you put an auto generator in front, you can power everything all the way down the line, and this will basically smelt all of your tier 1 and tier 2 ores and then store them in the chest at the very end. It's a very simple setup. If you're lacking resources that you cannot buy a generator, so basically it's a generator and then wire that just runs all the way down. If you're lacking resources where you can't afford a generator, then you can put down a lever, and then you have to run wire in both directions. So underneath that, you're basically saying you're seeing wire like this. Then you activate the lever, and the whole system goes live. And the reason you can't put the lever here is because it won't reach the very last unit. As far as for belting, you just want to make sure you leave one gap here. So the belt needs to come in, leave one gap here, and then it's able to pick up from this spot and transfer things back. For advanced smelting, the belt work is a little bit different if you're going to try to use automation. So you'd basically have to have the belt work come in, and then you're going to want this corner, right? This corner right here is where you're going to have your drill be able to drill things from there. But we're going to get into how to set this up a little bit later in the video, but we will be able to set up advanced smelting with this method. Okay, let's discuss the pulse system. This is a critical element in order to get advanced smelting done and auto sorting. So basically, what we have here is we have a power source coming in and feeding into the bottom of a logic gate and to the side of a logic gate. Then we have a delay circuit. Then we have a delay circuit that feeds into the side of the logic gate. And then the logic gate system comes up and then back feeds into the side of the delay circuit. And this is how we're able to create a pulse system. Now, we also could create the same system with a electrical stick and remove that electrical element here to kind of keep it tidy and cleaned up. Now the pulse system will reach the same distance as the generator is able to reach. or one less because we do have to put in a logic gate here. Now, one of the problems that we may run into with the pulse system is, say we need more electricity to continue this way and to pulse. How we're going to create that system is we're actually just going to put down a logic gate, and then we're going to put a generator next to it. And what this is going to do is allow the logic gate to receive this as a signal in, but it's going to take the power from the generator and send it continuously down the line, allowing us to greatly increase the range of our electricity and our auto sorting system. So this is very important to know on how to extend your system out like this. So take note of this design also. Let's discuss how conveyor arms work. So one of the biggest things with auto sorting is conveyor arms can only pull in full stacks of items and remove full stacks of items. There is no filtering system in order to tell it to leave one thing in or one thing out. So with the method that I'm going to show you, we're going to be able to stack things into a chest, leave them in there if we want them in there, and then remove the items that we do not want in there. And this is how the basis of our sorting system is going to get started. One thing to note, though, about arms is they do not pull out of systems with a queue. Prime examples of systems with a queue are going to be your woodcutters, your smelters, and your cooking pot. So if it's able to put something in this slot here, then it's going to get processed and it will not be able to remove anything until it's in this slot here. And as the cooking pot has 2 input slots, so you could automate cooking with this same system. Okay, let's discuss drills. Drills are extremely powerful. They're able to basically break any item that's in front of them, including teleporting pads. So if you find a teleporting pad that you want to move that's outside of a boss, you can actually use the drills to pick it up. But this is a problem that if we put the drills in front of a chest or in front of an advanced smelter, that it would actually break them. So how we get around this? So drills are actually quite powerful with the way that they're able to pull items towards them. They're able to pull items through walls. They can pull items over chasms, and they can pull items through objects. So basically, you're able to use drills to load conveyor systems. And I'll turn this on so you can see how the system works. In order to get this system to work correctly, the drills have to be on a pulse network. If they were left completely on, they would actually bust everything there. And how we do this is with the pulse system. So this is where the pulsing system comes into play. And then if you wanted to set up an on-off switch, you would put a logic gate down, and then you could put a switch down, and this would activate or deactivate the logic gate. So the auto sorting system is pretty simple. You want to have a belt come in, or your feeder lines come in. You want to make sure the gap in the very front is not belted. So you want to make sure that's an empty spot. You could put your generator here in the front, and I recommend using a generator because it can actually, it reaches significantly further. Then the generator is going to power the first block, which is going to then power this side of the delay. Then the generator is going to come out this way and power this block, which is going to activate this side of the logic circuit. And then we have that wire come out and around and back into the delay circuit, which is going to trigger the pulsing. Coming out the other side of the arm is going to be a straight power circuit. And then we're going to put in a cross. Then we're going to put in a cross circuit right here, so the power doesn't bleed into the drill. And then we're going to continue that down. So straight power here, all the way down, cross circuit so it doesn't bleed into the drill. And then on this side, we're going to do very similar. We're going to continue our power line down, feed it into the drill. And then here at the arm, we want to make sure that we do not use a wire circuit because it will light everything up because the power is bleeding through the arm. We want to use a cross circuit. And then that's going to allow this power to pass straight through. And then we're going to continue this down, and you can keep going as far as the power would let you. So this is the power system laid out on its own. And it's very direct. So we have this arm right here. I just removed it so we could see it more clear. And take a screenshot of this so you're able to use it. But the main components of this is the power, regular wire, the cross circuit, the logic gate, and the delay gate. Now this delay gate has to be put there. If you take this delay gate and say you were to put it here and then run it around, the system would pulse, but you see how the power is taking a while to bleed down. So while it looks like it's working, it's actually working very poorly. And this last stage here, you'll see the power shrink back. And this last stage here will cause your system to break. So it's very important that you put the delay gate on the side, just like this. Let's take a moment so you can get a screenshot of that. Okay, let's get a shot of this actually working. And we basically have stuck in this box a whole bunch of random items. And then in the chest, we basically put the item we want in there, or the items that we want in there. And then we lock the rest of the chest with like a dirt block. If you have dirt in your first chest, then it's not going to continue down the rest, and it'll continuously stack in the very first spot that it can. And then we can use that to lock the rest of the chest. So for the second one, we're saying we only want drills here, and we lock the rest of the chest with dirt. Third one, we said we only want cross circuits here, and we lock the rest of the chest with dirt. And the fourth one, we just left completely open, saying please bring anything that's not sorted into this chest. And I call it a surge system. So anything that doesn't have a place will go into the last chest. And I recommend actually putting multiples of these down. So that way, if armor or gear is coming into these chests, they will go into the surge system. And they won't end up on the ground clogging your inventory if you happen to walk by. So let's go ahead and turn this on. And we'll see it's going to start pulling things out of the first chest and pulling them down. Because that gap's there in the conveyor belt, the arms are able to grab it. And then it's going to say, hey, can you go into this chest? No? Okay, we're moving you down to the next chest. And you see that it has added more chests here. It has added the drills here. And it has added the cross circuits here. And everything else that was in that chest that did not belong ended up in the very last chest. Okay, let's discuss the electrical system for the advanced smelter now. So we have our standard smelting system, which starts here. And it's going to pull from the beginning chest and start cycling items down all the way through the regular smelters. And then we got to come here and we have to put in the pulse system for the advanced smelters. So the pulse system basically is we're going to just tie it in. On one side is going to be the pulse, and on the other side is going to be the standard system. And the standard power, the straight power. This side's going to pulse, and would be the electrical wiring here for the drills. And then on the other side, we'll tie in the electrical wiring for the arms. And then here's it broken down with nothing on it. So basically, power comes from the top, straight down, and then it gets split, goes into a gate, and then we have our pulse system tied in here. Then it comes out to the side and just runs straight down. And then this is able to feed everything without having to worry about any bleed through. Okay, and finally, now we get to the dump chest, where we're able to advance smelt everything and auto sort. This system is what I use in my base, and it works phenomenal. So in the very beginning, we have a whole bunch of ore, and we have some ore that's been done, and we have some planks and other random items. We can go ahead and turn it on, and we'll see it starts pulling, and you see as soon as it's able to fill up the system, it's going to fill it up, and if it cannot, it's going to pass it down. All the smelters have fired up, and all the smelters are going to have different ores in them. It's not going to pass down ores that are uncooked. And then the system's just going to keep working its way down, and you see it start to pull items that it cannot fit into that out to the side, and then to the back, and then into the next conveyor arm. And then it's going to keep this cycle going on down, just like this, and eventually all the smelted ore is now making it to the chest. And these chests are already preset to accept certain goods in them. So that chest there didn't want to accept gold or tier 2 ore, so it's moving it down. And now you see that we have a full auto smelting plus an ore setup plus an auto sorting system on the back. And then to continue this, you would just add on our other system here. And this will work great with the larger chest, which I don't have any on me, but it works phenomenal with the larger chest. And then you could tie this into the auto sorting system to continue on the journey. But you see here, it sorted all the tier 1 ores. And then here we sorted all the tier 2 ores. And then over here we sorted everything else that wasn't in the first 2 chests. I'm sorry, the second one sorted. So we see this one here sorted all the tier 3 ores and then skipped it and put all the tier 2 ores here. This is an example of all the systems combined as a whole. So anything I don't normally carry on me, I can just dump it all into this chest. It's going to come down into this conveyor, and it's going to work its way down. This is also my main input for ore. So all of my ore and anything from mobs comes into this line too. So this is my main input into my base. Then the first step it's going to go through a layer of smelters. I have all my ore that gets smelted here. Then it's going to come down through the backside and come down into my advanced smelters. My advanced smelters are going to go through the checks and see if it is able to smelt any of this stuff. If it cannot, it's going to go to the very back end, and then it's going to get tied into the conveyor system. And then this is my sort all system. So I preset all of my chests to accept certain goods. And if I needed to remove a good, this is how you remove the good. So you take it out, and then you right click and you leave one item in there. That's critical. If you're going to be pulling items out of your chest in your auto sorting system, you need to leave one item in there. And now any copper that comes through the system will automatically get put back into that spot. And then I have my blocks, and same, if I need dirt, I'm just going to grab the whole dirt block, and then I'm going to come here and I'm going to leave one dirt block in there, and that's going to preset. That's how I preset my slots. And then I basically have it where I have it sorting everything. So I'm able to come and just dump my inventory, and everything's going to be sorted where I want it to. Now, anything that does not go through, and I also use pedestals to kind of mark the icon of the general goods that I'm storing in there. So this is like cooked food. This one's like some rare resources or hard to get items or boss items. Then I come up here and I have my search system. So this is stuff that is not sorted in my system yet, which means I can either add it into the system, which, for example, this fish, I can add it into my system. For food, I come over here, I remove a dirt block, I add this in, and now this is added into my system that anytime I see this food come in, it's going to get sorted into this chest. And then at the end of the day or whenever, I'll come in here and I'll clean it all out, and I'll sort if I want to keep the stuff or if I want to sell the stuff. Alright everyone, this is my call to arms. If you love this video, if it's supportive, please share it, post it in Discords, and then if you have another tutorial that you'd like me to make, please make it a suggestion. If you guys don't suggest videos, I'm not doing any more tutorials. Alright, have a great day. Bye.